Hello everybody and welcome back to Gaming on Caffeine. My name is Isaac and we are back for episode 19 of my modded survival island. Last episode we were working on a little bit more botania, making ourselves the munch dew, which is a flower that can consume nearby leaves and turn those leaves into mana. Now, what I want to work on today is I want to work on, first of all, automating that process so that we can just have leaves constantly being sent to these munch dews to turn into mana. And the second thing I want to do is I want to then convert that mana into redstone flux so that we can essentially squeeze just that little bit more power out of our tree farm, because we'll still have all of our wood going to all of our generators making redstone flux, but then we'll also have all of the leaves from all of those trees being sent to these munch dews, making even more redstone flux. So we just got even more power being pumped around our base, and that is hopefully what we will achieve by the end of today's episode. So the first thing we need to do is automate the leaves and get them sent from the cache over there over to here consistently. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to use a block placer from open blocks. Now you could do the same thing with the autonomous activators from thermal expansion. However, in the newest versions of thermal expansion, the autonomous activators do require power to run, so it's a little bit more efficient if we use the block placers from open blocks. These guys are really easy to make. It is simply some cobblestone, some iron, a little bit of redstone, and a piston, which is more cobblestone, iron, redstone, and a little bit of wood. So I'm going to go ahead and make myself quite a lot of planks, make myself, I think about 8 of these in total for now. You'll see I also have 8 supplier pipes that I made between episodes. If I feel we need more block places in the future, I might make a few more, but for now, I think 8 should be enough, so we will make 6, and then grab a little bit more cobblestone to make the final 2. Like so. Now, unfortunately, block places are extraordinarily tricky to place down. I'm not quite sure why they were, designed in this way, but when you place them down normally, for instance, if I put it here, it places it down with the collecting bit away from you, which makes it extremely hard to kind of do it in the situation that we have here. Also, the wrench doesn't work on them as well, which is a bit of a pain, but basically what it means is that when we want to put them down in the floor here, which is where I want them to go, I'm going to have to kind of sit in the water like this. Let me see if I can put hover mode on my jetpack so we fall just a little slower. And this guy, I'm sorry, my friend, where the heck are you? This is going to be a pain in the backside. So we're going to have to put them down like that. One there. Get out of the way, my friend. You're going to die if I keep punching like that. Also, you're probably going to drown under here. Let's get a little bit of air real quick. Okay, and then a few more. 1, 2, and 3. Nice. Alright, wasn't as painful as I thought it was going to be. Now, the next thing we need to do is hook all of these guys up with supplier pipes so we can tell the logistics pipe system to constantly keep as many leaves as possible, I guess, inside these block places so they always have something to place down for the munch dews to consume. So, to do that, we're going to have to put one of these on the bottom of every single block placer. So, I think that's there. Oh, is that alright? Oh, no, that's wrong. Okay, we'll move that one in a second. It's there, and then like there. Okay, we just need this one back now, which is going to be a massive pain because this thing is going to take forever to break, and we are going to be dying. Come on. Oh, we got it. Now we're going to die. Okay, well, that went just perfectly. Let me put this last little logistics pipe in. You can go right there. And then what we got to do is we got to hook this up to our existing logistics pipe system. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the closest logistics pipe is this one here. And the reason we need a logistics pipe is we're going to be creating a junction in the pipes here. And every time you create a little intersection, you do need to make sure it's at a logistics pipe. Otherwise, things will just get lost and sent the wrong way and then bounce around forever and ever and ever. And that's not fun for anyone. So, let's kind of pull this out just a little bit like so and hook this up to those guys over there. And once we've hooked up the pipes, the final thing that we have to do is, of course, tell our supplier pipes to constantly keep leaves in there. So we'll put some leaves in, and for now we're going to set this to infinite, which means it's constantly going to send leaves over. And these things can actually hold quite a lot. They've got a 3x3 grid here, so they can hold 9 stacks of anything. So each of these is going to be able to hold 9 stacks of leaves at once, which is quite a lot of leaves. So hopefully this system shouldn't slow down anytime soon unless we start running out of leaves, which I don't think is probably going to happen, although I haven't really tested it all that much. I did go ahead and break some blocks around these places as well, just so that we don't have to faff around being in the water whilst I'm trying to do this. And also because the next thing, the next thing we're going to do is going to involve us using the sides of these block places. And also, I didn't realize that you could change the direction. Are you not going to come to the top, really? There we go. I didn't realize you could change the direction of the block placers using the wrench. Otherwise, we wouldn't have had to go through all the trouble of going underwater to do all that. But nevertheless, you can see leaves are now coming in. Each one of these is going to get filled up with a ton of leaves. And now all we have to do is we have to send a repeating redstone signal to these block placers to make sure that they keep putting leaves down, because the munchkins are, of course, going to keep breaking them. And to do that, we are going to use, again, a timer from Project Red. You may remember we used one of these a little while ago for the dropper over by our ore doubling system with the immersive engineering crusher. This time we're going to use it for these block placers, and we're going to use a very similar system. We're going to get ourselves some red alloy wire, which is essentially redstone that you can place against the side of something, and we're going to hook that up to our timer. So to start with, let me do a quick check to see if we have any red alloy wire. We do. We have 11, and that's good. I actually didn't think we had any, but I will request all of that, and that will arrive over here. Now, the only issue with this is that we're going to have to place red alloy wire all the way around all of these block placers, and that means not having these corners here that are kind of blocking the red alloy wire getting all the way around, and so that means we're going to have to move these munchkins. Now, we could just move them to like here, here, and here, but what's the fun in that? That's no fun. Instead, what we could do is we could make these munchkins float, which sounds a lot more fun to me, at least. So, what we're going to do is we're going to make our munchkins float. So if I go ahead and type in floating munchkin without a comma and with an M, munchkin, and you can see over here that we can make one by combining a munchkin with any floating colored flower, so any floating original flower from Britannia, and we make those floating original flowers by combining a normal flower with a pasture seed and a piece of dirt. A pasture seed being made by throwing some grass into a mana pool with a little bit of mana, and grass, of course, being obtained by shearing grass. So let's go over here and see if we can grab some real quick. We're going to at least 4 of these. Is that it? We got 6, so we'll take that, and we'll throw 4 of these into our mana pool, which I think should have enough mana to make all of these. Good stuff. And then if we go ahead and look at our trusty flower pouch, I'm going to use grey ones because we have the most of those. And then if we go ahead and do something like this, boom, boom, and boom. Yeah, that doesn't work because instead of using normal flowers, you need to use glimmering flowers, which are normal flowers combined with a little bit of glowstone. So, yeah, let's do a quick travel over to our gems and stuff box. Let's grab ourselves 8 of you. I don't want 9, I want 8. And let's combine those up with our grey flowers to make glimmering grey flowers. That's a tongue twister and a half. Glimmering grey flowers. And once we got those, we can combine those with our pasture seeds and our dirt to get the floating grey flowers, which we can then combine with our munch juice to get floating munch juice. Nice. By this point, we should have our red alloy wire, which we do. I will take you. We'll put that there. We do need you, so I'll put that there. And then let's go ahead and start throwing this around the edges, like so. We got like that. And you'll notice if I do this, those don't connect, so we have to break that for those to connect, at which point we can go ahead and do something like this and put that there, and you can see now it's floating instead of relying on the ground below it. Apparently, we planted a mystical red petal down on the floor here. You know, we'll put it down over here again. Why not? Let me pick all of these up real quick, because we are going to upgrade all of these to floating versions, and then let's get rid of all the corners. And let's surround all of this with red alloy wire. Hopefully we have enough, although you know, we've only got 2 left, but I think that should be fine because of the fact that this one's already got one on it. Now, the final thing we have to do is hook this up to a timer. Now, the way that we're going to have to do that, I guess, is somewhat tricky because I kind of want, at the same time, to cover up this hole. I don't want to have this big gaping hole in the floor where we could see all of the red alloy wire. What I want to do is I want to cover this up. So let me, before we go and put down the timer, let me test something here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a saw from forge, and we're going to try and make some forge micro blocks. So the first saw we're going to make is going to probably be a stone saw. This is made using flint, some stone tool rods, which are just 2 stone, and some sticks. We have, I think, a ton of flint over in one of these chests. Yes, we do. We'll take you. I don't think we have to use actual stone for our stone rods. I think this works fine. So we'll take some of those and we'll take some sticks. Boom. Boom, with a stun rod there, and then some flint in the middle, and that gets to the saw. Nice. And basically what saws can be used for is to cut blocks down into smaller blocks. So for example, if I take my cobblestone, I can turn those into cobblestone slabs, I can then turn those into cobblestone panels, and I can turn those into cobblestone covers, which I can then use to cover things over with. So let me quickly try using these over here. I'm not sure if they work with the red alloy wire, and they do. Okay, cool stuff, cool stuff. So, what I want to do now is we need to get one that works with grass. So, we would need to cut up a grass block. Now, the way we're going to do that is, of course, we would need silk touch, because we need to pick up an actual grass block, not a dirt block. So, what I've gone ahead and done is made myself a stone shovel from Tinker's Construct, and what we can do with Tinker's Construct is if we get what's done as a silky crystal, we can go ahead and upgrade one of our tools to have silk touch. Now, we do not have any emeralds, so I'm going to go do a quick trip over to our friends at the village. I can't remember if this is the village we went to before that has the guy who's willing to trade wheat for an emerald. If it is, oh, look at this very nice carpet he's got in here. If it is, I think this is the Tinker's Construct house. Yeah, it is. I'll come back to that in the future. If it is, which I don't think it is, I think it might be a different one. Let me go check real quick. Okay, so I couldn't find the exact same villager who wanted to trade wheat for emeralds, but I have found this guy over here who, if I can catch him, is willing to trade me 11 bucks for an emerald. So I will quickly accept his trade and then not drown over here. Jeez, let's get back home. But what we should be able to do now is use this emerald to make ourselves a silky crystal if we don't get struck by lightning. Jeez. And then we can use that to equip our shovel with silk touch. So let's go ahead and first of all get ourselves some golden nuggets, then surround those with string to get silky cloth, and then once we've got 4 silky cloth, we can then use that with our emerald to get ourselves a silky jewel, which we can then go ahead and combine up with our shovel in the tool forge to give it silk touch. Nice! So let me quickly turn down weather sound because that storm is real loud, and then let's fly over here, and that's still really loud. Does that not affect weather sound? Let's turn that down, and let's grab ourselves just a piece of grass. Nice. Now, the way the grass works, I think, if I'm not mistaken, with the saw, is that it looks like it's not going to work, but then works, if that makes sense. I'll show you what I mean in just a second. If we put that in here, where's our saw gone? Do we have our saw on us? No. What? Where was it over here? Here it is. Okay. Let's put that in here. And then it looks like it's not going to work because it looks like it's creating a side slab kind of thing. It looks like it's going to go down like this. And it does on the side, but I think, if I'm not mistaken, on the top, it actually looks like normal grass, I think. So if we do this, yeah, it's actually going to go ahead and look like normal grass. Look at that. Beautiful. So we'll put that there. We can put one, if we can get it right, we should be able to put one on there. It doesn't seem to want to work there. Oh, look at this. Yes. Okay, cool. So we should be able to actually fully cover this up and have it not look like it's going to be there at all. And that is going to be perfect. So is this going to work? It is. Oh, that's the wrong one. We're going to need a few more. That's fine. That's fine. So the next thing we need to worry about, and I'll do some more of this in just a second. The next thing we need to worry about is where we're going to put the timer. Now, a question, I guess, is, I can put the timer against walls, I believe. Yes, I believe so. Can I do that? Let me try that real quick. I think, if I'm not mistaken, we can put the timer, like, on a wall like this. We can. That's interesting. So, can we put it, is the question, underwater? And also, can we put red alloy wire underwater? Now, if I'm not mistaken, to get red alloy wire, because we are going to need some more of it to hook it up to the timer, we need red alloy ingots, which are made by smelting red iron compound, which is made by surrounding iron with redstone. Okay, let's get a little bit more of that real quick. So let's put iron in the middle and surround it with some redstone, and then that gets us 12. So we're only going to need 3. And then we can get you smelting up whilst I figure out if we can put a redstone timer underwater and then kind of hook it up like that. I think we should be able to. Whether or not we actually can is a different question. So I guess... Alright, so a little bit of playing around later, and this is what I've decided to go with. It's not quite as, like, covered up as I'd like it to be, but what I've gone ahead and done is I put the timer on the outside of the island. I've connected up this corner here, which was not connected a second ago, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly put that back in there, because I don't need that hole there. But so basically, we now have the block here instead of over there, so that's where the disconnect is between the red alloy wire and the other piece of red alloy wire. And what I'm going to do now is we're going to put a piece right about there. And there we go. Now, every 2 seconds, I think it is by default, it should go ahead and put down more leaves. I'm going to change that to 1 second, and then we're going to go ahead and cover all these up, like that. And we can put one there, we can put one there, we can get rid of you, and then we can put all the rest of these down like so. And it should be, for the most part, pretty unnoticeable, which I think is fairly cool. So we'll do this, and then we'll put you there, and the final two can go. This one's a bit of a pain. The final two cannot go there. They can go there and there. Nice. So now we have like a completely concealed system, which I really like. And the final thing we need to do is we need to start converting the mana into redstone flux. So what I'm going to do, for the sake of being able to use our mana in the future, I'm going to make a separate mana pool for the conversion that only uses the leaf power. So for that, I believe we still have our diluted mana pool. So if we throw this into our normal mana pool, we get another normal mana pool. I'm then going to put that here for now, and we're using our Wand of the Forest. We will bind this to this, so all of the mana will start getting sent here instead. Then what we can do is we can grab ourselves, for now, I guess, this mana spreader, because it's not really doing much, but in the future we can just go ahead and make another one. And I will put this down right about there. And now we need to make the block that allows us to convert mana into redstone flux. And if I'm not mistaken, if we type in flux, yeah, it's up here. It's called the mana flux field. And this is made using 4 living rock, 1 mana steel ingot, and 4 blocks of redstone. So let's quickly throw you in there. Get ourselves a mana steel ingot. Let's pick up a few of these. I'm not going to pick up all 4 yet, because our inventory's a bit of a mess. I'm not going to pick up all 8, should I say. I'm going to pick up 4 for now, so that our inventory doesn't just get clogged up with stuff we're not using. And then we can go ahead and make a few of these. We are going to need a little bit more redstone, also a little bit of space in our inventory, but that's fine. Let's go ahead and grab you. Let's make a few more blocks. I was going to do it in there, but we don't have enough space to pick up the saw. So instead, let's just get rid of all of this junk that we're not using. And then we can go ahead and make 2 more blocks of redstone. And we should be able to make ourselves a mana flux field. Nice. Now, finally, all we have to do is we have to push the mana through the mana flux field, and then for the time being, because I haven't quite decided where all of the redstone flux generated by this system is going to go yet, what we're going to do is we're going to store it inside of a leadstone energy cell, much like we did with our water wheel over there. So let's quickly grab ourselves 1 more leadstone energy cell. For that, we're going to need 1 more piece of electrum, which I think, if I'm not mistaken, we should still have over in our ingots chest, and we do. Let's pick up the saw. Let's make ourselves the coil real quick. And then once we've got that, all we need to do is get ourselves 3 copper, which is easy enough, and then a block of redstone, some glass, and some lead, all of which we can do fairly easily like so. Block of redstone, glass we already have, lead we already have, everything else is good. And then let's get ourselves 1 of those, and 1 of those. Nice. So I'll take this, and I will throw this down right next to where my mana flux field is going to go, which for now, we can put down, like, just here. It doesn't really matter where we put it for now. We'll put that there. That side should be set to input, and it is, and then we'll go ahead and we'll bind you to you. And that should start to work. We should start to generate mana. Look at that. We're actually generating mana, and it's working absolutely fantastically. This, sometimes I'm not quite sure what the algorithm is that detects whether or not these munch dews are going to actually pick up the leaves, because sometimes I've done this, and it's just consistently pumping mana, like, it doesn't stop, really, and it produces about 200 redstone flux per tick, whereas sometimes they just decide not to eat the leaves for a little while. I'm not quite sure what's up with that, but the thing that matters is that you can see we're getting, like, a constant stream of mana here, and we are producing redstone flux from our leaves, giving them finally a use other than just sitting around filling up that cache over there. So, with that, guys, I'm going to end this episode of Modded Survival Island here. Next episode, we'll come back. I'll find something to do with all of this power that we're now generating from our leaves. I'll probably use it for something like our quarry, which is very close to finishing, in fact, so we could probably use it there on the next one. But like I said, for now, thanks for watching, guys. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to hit like. It really does help out a lot, and I will see you guys next time.